are in Japan. We're all very excited. I guess you've heard the news. Joe Satriani is going to be joining us for this tour. It's one of the most exciting things I think that's ever happened to Deep Purple. We're going to be rehearsing for 4 days. Joe knows the set anyway, and I think you're all familiar with what a great guitar player he is. If you could see the excitement in the eyes of the other musicians in the band and feel the excitement that I'm anticipating for these shows, I can promise you it's going to be an electric series of concerts. And we look forward to seeing you, and I can't wait to just share this experience with you. Thank you all very much.
ということでですね、日本に来たよとみんなも知ってるかもしれないけども、ジョー・サトリアーニが今回のツアーに参加する。俺たちは本当にいい意味ですごく興奮していると。すでにジョーは俺たちの曲を練習しているし、リハーサルも加えてやると。実際彼は素晴らしいギタリストなんで心配は全然していない。バンド内の今の高鳴った気持ちを考えれば、今回の日本ツアーは素晴らしいものになるというものは自信を持って言える。だからみんなにこのディープアップルの日本公演を楽しんでもらいたいということを言ってるわけなんですね。実はジョー・サトリアーニにしようと言ったのはメンバーではないんですね。これ誰が言ったかってのはとても興味深いんですけど、少なくともですね、有働社長でないことは事実ですね。聞いたんですもん。これ有働社長言ったの、ノー違うと言ってましたけど、果たして誰が言ったのか、それは来週あたりからなぜリッチー・ブラックマン脱退したのか、一つ一つそのベールを剥がしていきましょう。リッチー・ブラックマンはいつ頃どういう形で4人のメンバーに自身の脱退を告げたんでしょうか。ディープアップルを2人で作った、つまりこれはリッチーの片割れの方ですね。音体ジョン・ロードにそのことを聞いていました。
He wrote a letter, which was not a very nice letter, and it was read to us by our tour manager under instruction. This was in Prague, which was October the 31st. You want to say anything else about that?
Well, I never saw the letter.
No, it was not intended for Ian, because as you may have already known, Ian and Richie had a problem. The problem came solely from the guitarist's point of view, in my belief, because the man sitting next to me is a man of intense compassion and great width and humanity, and would normally be able to deal with people who weren't banjo prats. And that's so. It was a nasty situation, and I'm very glad it's over.
興味深いですね。リッチー・ブラックマンは脱退するという手紙を書いていたんだそうです。10月31日ヨーロッパツアー中のプローブというところでツアーマネージャーからリッチーからの手紙を読まされて知らされたと。一方イアン・ギランは俺はその手紙は知らないというふうに言ってますね。その時にこの手紙は僕つまりジョン・ロード宛てに送られたものではなかったので詳しい内容までは知らなかったんだけども、イアン・ギランとリッチーの間にはトラブルがあったことはみんな知ってるからね。僕からしてみればリッチーがイアンに対していろいろ思っていただけのことであってね、僕自身はねこのイアンは本当に思いやりがあって人間味のあるやつだと思っているから、今回のとにかく手紙で脱退を知らせるというやり方はね本当にうんざりしたというふうに言ってます。さて実は興味深いのはねイアン・ギランなんですよ。これは結構リッチー・ブラックモアって案外子供なのかなって思わせるようなことなんですけども、お手紙をリッチー・ブラックモアさんがメンバーに出した後もコンサートは続いてたわけですよ。脱退を表明したにもかかわらず、さあどんな気分だったんでしょうか。
The decision was made almost immediately that the band was going to carry on. I think it's important to note at this point that it had been almost since the beginning of the tour. Richie hadn't spoken to me after about the first week. I don't know why. I think I found out why yesterday. It's because I didn't go to a certain castle we wanted to go to. This might be it. I don't know. I can't be sure, but it was certainly since that date that he hasn't spoken to me, which explains a lot, really. But if you want to base your whole future on something that I didn't even know about, but still. But anyway, Richie hadn't really been functioning consistently, and the atmosphere in our dressing room was fantastic, better than it had been in my experience since 69 or 70. It was just fun all the way, and we were breathing again and laughing. And so after this letter, the decision was made almost immediately Because one of the great things, of course, was the immediate problem was dealing with the Japanese dates, because here we were due to go to Japan after Helsinki after just a few days. And after a day or so, Richie brought his passport out and took out his Japanese visa, tore it up, threw it at the tour manager and leant out the door and said, "The Japanese tour is cancelled, I'm not going to Japan, and tell all the crew they're not going to Japan." There were lots of long faces around that night, and we decided at that point that why on earth shouldn't we go to Japan? I mean, Richie had not been playing actually what you might call a band function. He'd been coming in and out of the band, playing twiddly bits and sometimes dropping out and whatever. And we had, in fact, had a very successful tour. I mean, the band had been playing wonderfully. John was playing great, the rhythm section was great, and we were having there was a great feedback from the audience, you know. So at that point, the decision was made that we would go ahead. And so the remainder of the tour was not as difficult for us, although I suspect it might have been hard for him, because obviously he found out that we were going to go to Japan. And so, to be quite honest, it was no big deal. I think the realisation came that with Richie, there was no future for Deep Purple. Without him, there was a future. That was the bottom line. And a good one.